Oh, what's going on there, guys? It's Devus the Wolf here, and welcome to a brand new video. See by this holy light shining into my room, it is a especially good day. Anyways, today's topic will be a bit of a reminiscent one, but it is something that is very close to my heart, and it is about the fandom of which I am very happy to be in. The topic of the video today is about my experience or my thoughts about furries, the furry fandom or the furry community. So let's get into this video. See, because not everybody knows about them, I shall take the time out to explain what furries are. In a nutshell, furries are people who like wearing, anthropomorphic animal costumes, and, it's a place of art, expression, literature, music. It's all pretty much all about the art, the creativity of the fandom. It's a community of people based on the works and, appreciation of anthropomorphic animals. Basically, animal people. So yeah, it's a great community, and I want to share my own personal experience with this fandom. As you may have seen in my recent Q&A video, I talked about how I found the furry community. Around about early to late 2013, I was stumbling around, and as I said, I was on X videos and you stumble across certain pornography, and then it just leads to other things. But the main way I found the furry fandom, other than through Twitter, because that's where it's at, I found the furry community through basically being Therian or Otherkin. Basically a concept of I see myself, I identify as a wolf in real life. Whether you find that weird or find that cool is, well, up to your subjective opinion. But anyway, it's back onto topic. I found the furry community both through pornography and both the normal way of like just looking on Twitter and being Therian. It's a great community of people, I can assure you of that. The stereotype is fairly incorrect. It really is. The furry community is a great place. A social place, an artistic place, an all-round creative place for many to come, uh, basically give their 2 cents and see, and people appreciate them for that. The furry fandom is an appreciative place where you can be or do something and people won't judge you for it. They'll appreciate you and, make you feel good about yourself. And that's what I love about this community. They're so comforting, helpful, and all around just great people who have such personalities that I can't match. Some of these people have such energy that I could never match. Like, furries are some of the most creative people. I know I keep fucking repeating that. But seriously, furries and creativity seem to go so well together. Like, in the concept of furry art, I have seen so many great artists that stemmed from the furry community. It's just amazing to see. Like, these people have genuine talent that is sometimes so underappreciated. Like, these people genuinely have so much talent, and the community always supports them on there. Even though if you've seen any other furry videos, we do have a problem with, art stealers. I'll probably talk about that in another video. Now, I know this side I haven't talked too much about or researched much into about, but there is the musical side of the fandom, and I have listened to a couple songs made by people who are furries, and it is really good. Some of them are really definitely catchy, like, can't remember who it's by, but there's something about see you next year. I think it's like some kind of song about going to fur conventions. That's what I'll bring up next. Like, basically see you next year, and having a great experience at cons. But yeah, that's basically who furries are, and my overall opinion of furries, that they are great, creative, supportive, and appreciative people who are so kind. And I can't tell you that, I can't express that enough. Furries are some of the most kind people you'll ever know. Yet we get a lot of hate because, well, people just love to hate on things. Now, furry conventions are one of the core aspects of the fandom. People go to them, people want to go to them, people have been to them. There's so much to them. There's like furry conventions in normie expression, basically. It's like Comic-Con. Basically a convention for all people who appreciate this one thing to congregate and come together to appreciate that one subject or topic that they love. It's, it's a great thing. I know I personally haven't been to a convention yet. I do plan sometime to try and go to a convention, maybe when I get a job and save up some money. That would be great. But yeah, conventions are basically furries' equivalent of Comic-Con. A yearly event, even though there's different cons, there's fucking cons all over the fucking world by this point. And it's an amazing experience, at least from what I've heard. I know there's been recently a couple iffy things been going on at cons, but overall it's a great experience other than the occasional dickhead. But then again, that's pretty much anything. You always get that one occasional dickhead who pretty much makes everything look bad. Conventions mostly consist of obviously the art, but also fursuits, which I'll get onto next too. Conventions are like, as I said, Comic-Con. So people can come from different walks and, different places in the fandom and all join together to create this mushy mess of fucking cuteness, I guess, and, have something to show for it and make a lot of money, because furries with furry conventions make a lot of money for charity, and that is a good thing, making a lot of money for charities. And, the way they deal with this is obviously with, charity collections, um, all sorts of things like charity, like, I don't exactly know, but I'll probably, like, I don't know, fursuit parades and stuff like that. Probably to get people to, donate at least a little bit of money to the chosen charity of that year. Furry conventions primarily donate to charities regarding animals, and animal welfare, which is a great thing because animals are kind of underappreciated, and some of them really get treated like shit. So it's great to see furries, well, since we are animal people, looking out for their fellow animal. Um, there's many, as I said, there's many aspects to con. So there's the art, as you said, the music, and then you got the stalls. So there's like going to be, I don't know, literature, um, even comedians like To Griffin. He's one of my favorite comedians. He's a great guy. I know I'm probably going to get shit for that because stuff happened with To Griffin and pretty much the whole fandom ostracized him for no reason because of SJWs. But anyway, the main thing about it is that conventions are a place for people to come together and appreciate what it means to be a furry. Basically to be an animal person. And that's what's so great about it. Everybody can come together and love each other and have a great time. That's the primary reason that there are furry conventions in the first place. It's a place to have an amazing time together. Spend time with other furries. But enough of that rambling. I'll get on to the next part. The part about fursuits. Now, fursuits are, well, as the name says, it says it on the tin, suits made of fur, or even, a scaly look to it. Fursuits are basically animal suits that us furries wear, to express our character, or who we truly see ourselves as if you're a person who's otherkin like me. And fursuits are really adorable. That's one point I'm going to get across, and I'll say that as many times as I possibly will. Fursuits are truly cute. They are the cutest things about the fandom, other than a few other things. Um, Fursuits can range in price. Obviously, if you're a furry like me, you definitely know that fursuits are not cheap. Fursuits are nowhere near cheap. Um, Fursuits can range from the price tag of £1,500 to anything up to about I would say around about £5,000. So yeah, depending on the detail, the complexity and colours and stuff like that, and the fur, it can really differ on what price you're going to be paying for your fursuit. Because fursuits, as I said, the materials, stuff like that, and the complexity of all the colours and patterns, it doesn't come cheap. It is nowhere near cheap. But it's a massive responsibility that if you're a furry, you're willing to put on yourself to express who you are and express the artistic side of yourself. So furries, love fursuits, and it's a bit of a mainstream thing, essentially, with furries to love fursuits. I myself am a person who has always wanted a fursuit. I was thinking I was going to get one from my ex-girlfriend, but I'll talk about that later. I'll say something, I'll probably make a different video about that. Fursuits are like... Fursuits are like a good car that you want. You want it, and you'll do relatively anything to get it. Unless you're going to steal it, then fuck you. Furries adore fursuits. Like, I do too. I'm sorry if I'm fucking rambling like shit, but fursuits, I can't begin to explain how much of a mainstream thing fursuits are for the fandom. Fursuits are obviously part of the artistic side, but they're part of the main thing of what it is to be a furry. And a lot of people, including me, want to get a fursuit. So yeah, fursuits are expensive. They don't come cheap. They're something that furries, adore and want to have themselves. And, furries love to make, create, and even sell and share fursuits. So yeah, fursuits are a massive thing for this community. And I'm sure the fur community wouldn't be where it is if it weren't for fursuits. I think it's about time we get on to my personal experience within the furry fandom. So, 2013, I know not much did happen, but for what did was, when I found the fandom was, I stumbled upon the furry fandom through, X videos, because as I said in my Q&A, I did find the fandom through some of the porn, I will be very honest, I'll put my hand up to that. But also through being otherkin or Therian. Basically, being a wolf in real life, gives me an opportunity to express myself and, really enjoy being who I truly am within this fandom. Because this fandom, as I said, is really accepting of who you are. And that's one of the greatest things about it. Anyways, then 2014, I truly started to actually accept myself for being a furry. I started to actually start posting more about, general furry stuff. So like, general posts on Twitter, maybe sometimes reposting, like, not without consent or anything, just like retweeting somebody else's art. Because I feel like it's underappreciated. I feel like they should get some more appreciation. I do stuff like that. I've, tried to help where I can within this furry community, because there are some artists that I truly feel are so underappreciated and deserve a lot more exposure. Like, I could give, like, one person would have to be somebody like Dragora White Thunder, a great personal friend of mine who, we talk every now and again, and she's done me some free art, which I do one day when I get a job want to repay you for. If you're watching Dragora, I want to repay you for, producing such amazing art for me. Even if it was free and out of the kindness of your heart, I at least wish to repay you. Sorry about that. My flash ran off. One of the best things in my personal experience was meeting an amazing old Derg. Well, calls himself old. By the name of Dimitri Rafos, to be exact. He's an awesome guy who, like me, likes progressive music, progressive rock and stuff like that. He's an awesome guy when it comes to talking about stuff like that. He knows his shit. Also, he himself is a YouTuber, and I have to say, go check him out. Go check Dimitri out, because he really is good at what he does. And what he does is vintage game playthroughs, Bioshock playthroughs of the original trilogy, so stuff like Bioshock 1, 2, and Bioshock Infinite. Even does Fursuit Fridays, sometimes Midnight Dimitri's, and in PSAs, he's so good at what he does, yet so underappreciated. Like me, kind of underappreciated for what we do. So, trust me, go check Dimitri out, check out a couple of his videos, and I swear, you will like them. They really are great. But anyways, meeting Dimitri, I met him through when he was going out with another puppy firm. I won't talk about that because that is private information. But, we got talking on Telegram, obviously talked about what we like and what we have a lot in common, liking progressive rock music, certain comedians that we do like, even certain, games we do like quite equally, like Doom and stuff like that, and even Bioshock, because Bioshock is a great game. I mean, just watch some of the game reviews. I can't even speak about that. Like, check out some of the game reviews of Bioshock, and you'll understand just how good the game is. As I said, we talked about certain things we like. We have a lot in common, and I kind of encouraged him, tried to help him think about, starting back up on YouTube, because back in the day, Dimitri only had like 30, if not 29 subscribers, and he just used to make like World of Tanks Let's Plays, which admittedly weren't bad. I mean, I used to watch them. I mean, ever since he told me about them, I gave them a watch. They were pretty good. But obviously, people will change. And so, after encouraging Dimitri, a fair bit, he restarted his YouTube as his, proper self, as a furry. Well, as a fellow Otherkin too. He's an amazing dude, and you really should check him out. He's helped me so much over the past year or so, changing my perspectives on things, giving me perspectives on for certain things, and giving me information to understand and stuff like that, learning me a lot and teaching me different things. And that's what I have to thank him for. He gave me a lot more intelligence than I had at the time. So, Dimitri, if you're watching, all I can say is thank you so much for being an awesome friend, even if sometimes it can be a bit of a pain. Next person I have to give thanks to, due to my personal experience, would be Kyvan Duskwing. Somebody I met when I started to properly get invested within the furry community in about 2015, 2016. And, we started to talk, about different things, stuff like the occasional politics, even though I'm not a massive fan, I guess that's why it's occasional. I'm not a massive fan of politics. Sometimes talk about biking or cycling, and even sometimes talking about just general things like, Otherkin, and, just general talk. It's great to have some good friends out there, including Dimitri being my best friend. 2016, there wasn't much going on other than my, self getting properly invested within the furry community. I was under a previous persona, but that just wasn't me. It was a persona I didn't enjoy portraying. It wasn't anything I liked to portray. I'm nice and polite. My other persona was like snarky and a bit sarcastic. I tend to be more shy and introverted. He was more of an extrovert and a bit more expressive. So, there was a lot of jarring abilities that just weren't me, that I didn't enjoy portraying as that persona. So, late 2016 came my true unveiling, the true me, Devus. Hallelujah! I unveiled who I truly was as Furian and as a furry, and I unveiled that, I love this community, and I admitted, just how much I had been interested in the furry community for years now. Like, I've genuinely been interested in furries in a way for years now. Whether it's been through watching certain Anthro cartoons back in the day, or even looking at furry artwork. I was always sort of interested in being a furry pretty much from day one. So I have to say this fandom is amazing. But to round off, 2017 was quite eventful, I have to say. Other than getting a lot more art, which you may have seen on my YouTube, on my Discord, on my Telegram, on my Twitter. It's great to get a little bit of art every now and again. I've taken on different perspectives on my identity. Crafting it so it truly is me and reflects who I am. Since Devus is me, he's obviously a wolf. Since I also like dragons, I made him a Draco wolf. But, in the core otherkin side of me, I'm still a wolf. But, I also like to be a Draco wolf because, well, dragons are awesome and, well, just dragons. But in 2017, as I said, my YouTube really started to take off. My YouTube went from at the least 25 subscribers to pretty much where we are now at 142. I think I ended off 2017 with 120 odd, 130 odd. And that's been amazing to see my YouTube go from, well, that tiny, really, really tiny, of 25 subscribers, to not so tiny. I know I'm still very small of a channel compared to the grand scheme of things, but I'm a lot bigger than what I used to be, and that's what I'm grateful for. Even if it's kind of my own fault that my content doesn't exactly get so many views as it used to. Like I explained to Dimitri, I kept changing my identity. I kept changing who I was because I was going through somewhat of an identity crisis. I'm sure if you're a dedicated viewer of mine, or even just to let you guys know, I used to be under like a persona of, well, my real name, which is Paul Ebry. I'm not gonna hide my real name, well, my human name at least. That's my real name. And then it changed to I'm Crazy HD. Then after that, it changed to just different forms of it. So I'm Crazy HD, one word. I'm Crazy HD as I'm Crazy Space HD. And just that. And then we are where we are now. Devus the Wolf. That is who I am. So, for anybody who's subscribed or not subscribed, just to let you know, I'm not going to be changing my name anymore. That this is who I am. I found my name, my identity. So don't worry about any more name changes. That ain't happening. But yeah, my experience and my thoughts on furries is all positive. This fandom is an amazing place, and I probably wouldn't be nowhere without it. The furry fandom has been kind of a lifeline for me. I mean, there's some amazing content creators, if you know your furry YouTube, that, gave me faith in furries and, get me truly invested in the fandom. So I can't not say I ain't appreciative of this fandom. It's an amazing place, an appreciative place, and a very creative place. So all I can really say, if you've even made it this far into the video, is thank you, furries. Thank you for enlightening me and showing me a more creative side of life, and showing me a more accepting aspect of life. So I want to thank you guys if you did make it this far into my ramble fest about furries. And I want to also thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, I'd very much appreciate it if you would leave a like. I'd very much appreciate that. And what I'd love even more is if you would subscribe today. And maybe even if you're interested in seeing some more stuff from me and want to know when that is out, possibly also turn on notifications to be notified whenever I upload. Anyways, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I am out of here.